Lucas and Emily had been married for 8 years. To their neighbors, they looked like the perfect couple, respectful, stable, and successful. But behind their charming smiles and holiday cards was a quiet distance that had slowly built over time. Lucas, a focused architect, often buried himself in projects, while Emily, once a lively art teacher, had left her job 2 years ago to care for her ailing father. Since then, her own identity had started to fade. Emily sat by the window of their quiet home one rainy evening, sipping tea and watching the droplets race each other down the glass. Lucas was working late again. She had found an old sketchpad in a drawer earlier and had begun sketching a scene from a dream she'd had the night before, colorful, alive, nothing like the grayscale routine of her days. When Lucas finally walked through the door at 9 p.m., tired and unaware of the emotional journey Emily had been on, she greeted him with a calm smile. "You're soaked," she said, handing him a towel. He nodded, distracted, and dropped his bag by the door. "We're behind on the Wilmington proposal," he muttered. She wanted to ask him about his day, but instead, she simply said, "I drew today." He looked at her, brows furrowed. "You haven't sketched in years." "I know."
He didn't respond.
Later that night, while Lucas showered, Emily placed her sketchpad on the kitchen table, open to her newest drawing, a vibrant cityscape filled with life. It wasn't perfect, but it was honest. She left a note beside it. "I think I'm finding myself again." In the following days, Lucas barely mentioned it. But something shifted. One evening, he came home early and found Emily in the backyard, painting. Instead of going inside, he sat nearby, quietly, just watching. She glanced over, unsure what to say. "This isn't just a hobby anymore," she told him. "I know," he said, voice gentle. "You look more like yourself when you're painting." They began to talk again, not just about groceries or bills, but about how they were really feeling. Emily told him how she had lost her sense of self, and Lucas admitted he'd buried himself in work to avoid feeling helpless when her father passed. One Sunday, Lucas surprised her with a small art studio in the garage, cleaned out and freshly painted. He'd even strung fairy lights across the ceiling. Emily stood in the doorway, touched beyond words. "You believed in me when I didn't," she whispered. "You reminded me who I fell in love with," Lucas said. "I think I forgot. But I see you now." Weeks turned into months, and while not every day was perfect, something had undeniably changed. Emily's art began to sell online, and Lucas made time to attend her local exhibits. They traveled together, even if just to nearby towns, looking for beauty and stories. One afternoon, while walking through a sunflower field, Emily turned to Lucas, her hair swept by the wind. "Do you ever think we needed to lose our way to find this version of us?" Lucas smiled, brushing a strand from her face. "I think I needed to see this side of you to remember how much I love you." The story of Lucas and Emily wasn't extraordinary in its drama, but in its truth. Two people who had once drifted, rediscovering not just each other, but themselves. In the simplest moments, they rebuilt what time and silence had worn down. And in the end, they found something stronger: acceptance, friendship, and a quiet, unwavering love.